We'll see you in a minute, Chris.
And Brigitte, we're going to...
Styling, that's just the way that I feel. Sunshine beaming off the tips of my heels. Gotta say, hey, it's a brand new day. Love, loving the way that I feel. Styling, that's the way I wanna reveal. Trouble, that's just a dent in the road. Remember the love inside that we hold. Put those sorrows and worries away, because we're styling today. Styling, that's the me I wanna portray. When the bells of love start chiming, everybody knows you're shining. Styling, the way I happen to feel. Ooh, sunshine beaming off the tips of my heels. Gotta say, hey, it's a brand new day. Love the way that I feel. Styling, that's the me I wanna reveal. Come on, when the bells of love start chiming, everybody knows you're shining. We're styling, yeah. Everybody's feeling alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pets of all ages, welcome to Purdy Amazing People, live from beautiful, sunny Southern California. Our award-winning host, blues artist, radio host, and girl about town, Brigitte Purdy. Today, Brigitte welcomes Mr. Chris Bad News Barnes. Let's welcome Brigitte in.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to my new studio. I hope you all are having a great one today. Today, I'm pretty excited because I'm hanging out with none other than Mr. Bad News Barnes. If y'all could share this, that would be great. I want to stop by and say hi to people. I want to say hey to Jim. How are you doing, Jim? Where are you hanging out today, Jim? Tell me where you're from. Hey, Sean. I know Sean is in Georgia. Oh, that's right, Jim. How's things going in Buffalo? Hope everything's going great. And I keep glancing over here, Buffalo, New York. Well, Chris is in New York too. I think he's in New York. We're going to find out more. Chris will give us all the details for sure. Hey, Willie, how's it going? Sabrina, thank you for all the love and all the shares and all the caring. I appreciate you. I hope you're feeling better, Sabrina. You feeling better? Okay, without further ado, yes, The crowd goes wild. Can you go wild? Ah, Chris Barnes! Hey, Mr. Bad News.
Oh, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to see you.
Well, I'm in
Virtually.
I'm in Connecticut right now, actually. So it's not
Okay.
sunny. It's not sunny California here, my friend.
You know,
It's
it's been in
chilly.
the 80s. It's been blistering. It's been in the 80s, you know. But we're supposed to have rain this weekend, and I'm total Cali girl. Now, you also you get around. You're everywhere. You're in Connecticut
Yeah,
now, but
yeah. But
but you're originally from Chicago?
I'm originally from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I
Mm-hmm.
left Scranton in 1977, graduated high school, went to New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in New York City till 84, and then Chicago with the Second City Troupe in Chicago, 84 to 90.
Mm-hmm.
Then went out to LA to Santa Monica with Second City Show. And I was out there for, I don't know, 20 years. And now I'm back in New York and Connecticut and Pennsylvania. And I'll be out in LA a week tomorrow.
Oh, cool. See, that's what I said. You get around.
Oh, yeah. I have to.
They're
always behind me, Brigitte. They're behind me. I have to keep going.
It's in our blood and our soul. When you're in the entertainment business, you know, we're gypsies at heart,
Yes.
Rolling Stones, whatever you want to call it. That's just the way that we are built. It's hard to stay put. My mom's on here, right, Mom? Don't tell them all my secrets, Mom, but my mom always used to say, you need to stop running in those streets.
Really?
Yeah, really. I do.
My mother said the exact opposite. She was, go down to the Trailways bus station and get on.
Wow.
Yeah.
The sense of adventure is in your spirit for sure.
Well, you know what? I had three sisters, and two of them were Radio City Music Hall Rockettes. So like at 17, 18, like as soon as they could, they were gone. So my mother, my parents were ballroom dancers, so they pushed us to, you got to go. If you want to make it, you got to go.
That's right.
And I'm lucky for that, because not everybody has that push or that release system.
Sure, exactly. My mom. Go ahead.
A lot of parents don't want their kids leaving.
My mom was very, very supportive. I always say that she took me to my first audition. She memorized that number back in the day when you couldn't, text it or what have you. And she took me to my first catacall. And
really?
Yeah. And I got my first show at the Amundsen and Dorothy Chandler Pavilion when I was 13. And so anyway, thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom. Enough about me. Okay, you and I have both made the semifinals for the International Songwriting Challenge.
Who knew? Who knew?
Who knew?
You know what? I wasn't sure, how big it was or what the thing was, but I have had a lot of friends of mine that are hardcore Nashville songwriters, and they said, "Dude, that's not an easy win there." So I'm excited. I'm just excited it got recognized. You know what I mean? So.
It's such an honor. I was totally floored. I really didn't even tell anybody. I put it in and then kind of forgot about it a little bit, and then received the email and was totally shocked and extremely thankful. I mean, extremely thankful. Just to be in the semifinals is such an honor. So I have a question. Here. I have a question for you.
All right.
Did you really slow dance with Joni Mitchell?
Well, of course I slow danced with Joni Mitchell. I wrote a goddamn song about it. I better have.
This is the song that is up for the International Songwriting Challenge for Mr. Bad News.
Yep. I know.
So
it was. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So it was a song that I wrote that I wrote the lyrics, and Tom Hambridge wrote the music. But it was just a juxtaposition of my failures at life and my successes at life. It was just two sides of one coin kind of a song. So it's kind of this braggadocious at one point, but yet the reality is, I failed miserably here, or I hit bottom here, or whatever. So it was just a nice yin yang of a thing that I've always wanted to do. And when the pandemic, when we realized it was for real, I said to my gal, I said, this is, I got to do something creative, or I'm going to poke my eyes out with a fork. And right now is going to be the time to write. And she was like, great. I said, well, it's everything changes when it's time to write something. Everything, my clock changes, my behavior changes. Sure. And so she was great with it and very supportive. And that song just came out, and I just kept going with it and kept going with it. And it just started revealing more and more. And, Jim Belushi heard it. And I was very, Jim and I are friends. I've been on television with him, and he was very upset that his name wasn't mentioned in it. I said, well, you're in the video, but so I knew I was onto something when celebrities were going, why aren't I on it? So
yeah.
But I love it. People, huge response. I played Terror Blues in New York City, and there were people requesting it and singing along. And I was like, oh, wow, isn't that what we're working for? Isn't that?
Absolutely.
That's the deal, right?
That is the real deal. What I was going to tell you is that, the melody right now is going through my head. That's how catchy it is. And, us songwriters, that's the goal, is to write what we call the hook. The hook is what draws people in. And when I am writing, sometimes I'll sing something to somebody who's, not in the business, not in the songwriting. And then I'll say, can you like hum that back to me or sing it back to me? Right. And if they can, or if they walk away singing it, then I know, okay, winner, chicken dinner. Right. Well, even Tom said, he goes, do you want a chorus in this song? I go, the song is a chorus. It's 7 choruses. That's what it is. No, I don't want. I don't want a bridge. I don't want a chorus. I want it to be a poem. You know what I mean? It's beautiful.
And I wanted it to be more musically. I was going for a more dobro slide, back porch feel, and he was like, "No, I think it's more rootsy Americana." I'm like, hey, whatever you say, Tom. I will. Unless I felt strongly about something, I pretty much went with what, especially musically, because that's just not my field. I can't read music and I can't write. I can say what the feel is, and I can say what the tempo is, but I really love what he did with it. But it's much more special right now.
I love the visual lyrics. I love the iconic mentions to the people and the artists, because that's like a McDonald's, a Big Mac. You know what I'm saying? It's right, like, and then I love the storytelling. It's great storytelling. Andy, can we pull that song up so we can give it a listen, because you all need to hear this beautiful song that made the semifinalists for the International Song Challenge that Mr. Barnes wrote here.
Is this the video? Oh, it's a video right now.
Yeah, we got this all hooked up for you.
Oh, this is very high level.
Well, hello.
Here.
Hello, only the best from Mr. Bad News. Well, you're looking good. Look at that.
Good start.
I slow dance with Joni Mitchell.
I'll tell you the story.
Made castles in the sand. Cried when I lost my mother. got sober with a slow hand. Left Pennsylvania after high school. Blew hopwood sugar and Elwood blues. Didn't see eye to eye with my father. If you want to know the truth, I slow dance with Joni Mitchell, drank whiskey with Bill Murray,
Yeah. Oh,
turned my back on the termination, had to leave Scranton in a hurry. Packed up my dreams and went to LA. Got laughs with Carol Burnett. Cheated on my girlfriend. There's some things that I regret. I slow danced with Joni Mitchell. Went toe to toe with Mort. Rode the canyons with the angels. Wrote the words, live from New York. I lit firecrackers with Hunter S. Thompson. I traveled coast to coast. I was present when my mother died. She's the one I miss the most. Yeah, I slow danced with Joni Mitchell. I floated on the Dead Sea. Lost two brothers and a sister. Well, that's enough about me.
woo!
Wow.
Jeez, you made me cry, man. I try not to cry on every show, but it's your life. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, gosh. I love
Yeah.
the ending, that's enough about me. It's the summary of everything, and I'm just gonna read a few of these comments here that are in the. Are you all right, honey?
I'm fine. Yeah, that's great. Great stuff. Thank
Whew,
you.
that really touched me. Okay, so my mom said, I absolutely love this song, Mr. Barnes. And
Bless
she's
you, Mom.
very particular, I'll tell you.
Great.
Let's see. And we had Sabrina says she loved it. Can't go wrong. Go wrong with Chris. My mom's a big fan already. And then Jim says, hey. And Mr. Sean Williams says, hey. So, question.
Yes.
What was it like to slow dance with Joni Mitchell?
Well, let's get that story out of the way first.
Let's get it out of the way. She's up for the. I got a wipe here. She's up for the Music Cares Award.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me, what was it like? And then I'll tell you one of my little movie star thingies that I've never shared.
Well, I lived in Santa Monica, and there was a bar called Shay J's that we all hung out at, and Bill Murray's brother, Brian Doyle Murray, he lived by me in Santa Monica. And he said, one time he called me, he said, I'm down in Venice at a house party. Why don't you come down and hang out? And I said, all right, about 12 blocks. I go down and it's a brownstone, like next to Dennis Hopper's house. So I'm going like, all right, this is something, And
Yeah.
classic for them not to say who.
Mhm.
And I press the buzzer, the number, go in. It's Joni Mitchell's house. So got to know her a little bit. It was just fun, easy peasy, no big deal. That was it. Left. About a month later, I'm at Shay J's at 3:00 in the afternoon, and Jay comes in and says, "I got 2 tickets to the Academy Awards tonight. Who wants to go?" And like nobody wanted to go. It's a bar where these salty drunks hang out. You know, no one wants to go. Like,
Mhm.
and he goes, "Chris, you're an actor. What about you? This is something you should see." I said, "Well, I don't have a tux. I don't have anything." And sure enough, you know, George, the deli owner, says, I have a tux in my car from the dry cleaner. It'll fit you perfectly." And
Wow.
it did. Yeah.
That's destiny right there.
Exactly.
That's destiny. Okay, the doors just fly open. Go on.
Exactly. So I go, all right, let's do this. So I called my girlfriend at the time, who was also from Scranton, Pennsylvania, believe it or not. She was a martial artist movie star. And so she said, yeah, well, I'll go. So we went. And afterwards, there was a party at the this place on Sunset Boulevard, this big club. What was that? A night at the Roxbury. It was a club, the Roxbury. So I go in there. I knew the owner, and we both go in after the Academy Awards. And he goes, "Go upstairs. It's a nice group up there." So I go upstairs, and Joni Mitchell's sitting at a booth with her date. And I look over and I go, "Oh, Joni Mitchell." You know, and my dates go, "You don't know her." I go, well, let's see. You know, so we go over. "Chris, I met you with Brian." Yes. Sit down. We're sitting here alone. We don't know anybody, blah, blah, blah. So it's great. So it's a booth with the 4 of us at the booth. Her date starts hitting on my date.
This is so classic Hollywood.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, so I looked at her. I said, "You want to dance?" And she goes, "I'd love to." So we went out, and it was a slow dance. And as we're dancing, we're getting closer and a little more intimate. And she goes, "Are you kidding me?" And I go, "Listen, my date's, you know, certainly enjoying her time over there." Anyway, I said I slow danced with Joni Mitchell. I didn't say she liked me, but but we had a really lovely time. She was lovely, really cool person. And
that's beautiful.
And you know, so it was just enough to pull the brush from the canvas for a lyric. You know what I mean? And
I love that.
And it was so, for me, it was a very defining lyric, because it's not like I'm cool. It's like I was in Joni Mitchell's presence for an hour and got a slow dance in. You know what I mean? So not many people could say I slow dance. Many people could say I met Joni Mitchell. Many people could say I recorded a song with Joni Mitchell, but not everybody could say I slow danced with Joni. As a matter of fact, Tom would say, "Would you want to say slow? Why don't you say I danced with her?" I said, "No, it's slow's important.
Slow down. It's important.
Yeah, very important.
It creates such a visual intimacy, you know, and it just, that line, that's right there. That's the hook.
Yeah,
that is the hook right there.
Definitely.
You know, okay, so I'm going to share a little juicy tidbit about me.
Okay.
So I was doing a show at Barnesdale Park. I don't know if you know where Barnesdale Park is over there in Hollywood. And I was 16 years old. And, you know, after the show, you come out, you greet people. And so as I'm walking out, this gentleman stops me, and he tells me, "Wow, you were really great. I really enjoyed you." And I looked up, and it was John Travolta, and he gave me a kiss on the cheek.
John Travolta. It doesn't get better than that. Doesn't get better than that.
It doesn't get better than that. And so I always tease people, and I say, my first kiss was John Travolta.
That's fantastic.
So see, we have something in common.
That's right. I slow danced with Joni Mitchell, and you got a kiss from John Travolta.
Got a kiss from John Travolta. So let's talk about you and being on Seinfeld and some of those interesting tidbit facts about you. Can you share some of that?
Yes, you know what? I was just thinking when I was watching
Hmm.
that. I forgot some of the lines, but I lit firecrackers with Hunter S. Thompson.
Hmm.
I was tending bar in New York City, and Hunter was in town. He was working on a book, and he was coming to my bar when I would open at like 3, 4 o'clock, and he was just
Hmm.
hanging out all the time. And I had like somebody came in with
Lights came up.
that was me. I have power, and he had these bricks of firecrackers, so I had them behind the bar, and Hunter came in and he was sitting there, and I made him. He loved the way I made margaritas, so I made him his margarita, and this young couple was knocking on the door because the door was locked. I let him in, and they said, "Can we come in?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "We're not open, but you can. I'll make you a drink and I'll get to you when I get to you." And he was like,
Mhm.
and the guy goes, "Yeah." He goes, I'm gonna ask my girlfriend to marry me." I said, "Oh, great." So he comes in. They sit at the top. Hunter's at the end of the bar, and he goes, "What's going on up there?" And I go, "He's gonna propose." And then I just paused and I went, "Hunter S. Thompson, a young man about to propose, and a brick of firecrackers." So I tossed them in front of him, and his eye just went up, and he had the cigarette when you could smoke in bars then. And he walked down the end, he lit the whole thing, threw it in front of them as he's getting down on his knee to ask her to marry him, blew the whole place.
Oh, goodness.
They ran out of there, ruined the whole proposal. But then he was going to, and it's on the video there, he was being interviewed by David Letterman on Letterman.
Mhm.
So he goes, "Do you have any more of those?" So I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "You're coming with me." So I went with
Oh my
Hunter.
goodness.
Yeah. I went with him to the studio, the Letterman
Mhm.
show. And you'll see on that episode, anybody can Google it. He has the firecrackers here, and Letterman looks and kind of sees something. He goes, "What, Hunter, what do you got there?" And he goes, "Nothing." He goes, "What do you got there, Hunter?" "I don't have anything." "What?" And he reaches in, he pulls out this thing, goes, "No, no, no." He goes, he would have blown the whole studio up. But
Oh
that
my
was
goodness.
that's where that line came from.
Great line.
Yeah, right.
Great line.
Now Seinfeld, I did that. I was an actor. I was with Chicago Second City, and then
Mhm.
we went out to L.A. and packed up my dreams, went to L.A. and I auditioned for. Actually, I auditioned for that cast. I auditioned for the role of Kramer.
Oh wow. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I went right to the end on the audition. I mean, we were in the same room waiting to go in.
Mhm.
But he was brilliant in it. Anyway, I did an episode, and I had a whole. It was this. The scene had all. It was a big monologue, and I'm reading it and reading it and reading it, and I go, Larry, I could do this whole paragraph in 3 lines. And he goes, "What?" I go, "Yeah. I mean, I'm just repeating myself over and over here, and really, all I got to say is what's going on here, And he goes,
Mhm.
and the actor who plays George.
Yeah.
He grabs me. He goes, because he is that guy, he is that guy, and he goes, "You're giving up lines? You're giving up time on television? Are you out of your mind?" And I said, and it's like, we're from Second City. We serve the scene. We want the scene to work. You know what I mean?
That's true. It's all about the scene. It just like it's what's best for the song. It's all about the
It's about the
scene.
song. It's all
What's
about
going
the
to make it
song.
work? Where's the punchline? Where does it fit in the right place? What's going to get the best, really emotional reaction in both instances? How is it going to touch hearts? Right?
We serve the scene. That's it. We serve the song.
We
Otherwise,
the song.
Otherwise, it's a card trick, And after a while, the people they understand. They figure out the card trick after a while. So you can't. It's a no. Doesn't win, And there's a lot out there that do that,
There are, it's a whole. Then it turns into a whole Milli Vanilli type of deal.
Yeah, well, yeah. But it's better to just.
You can't fake the funk.
No, man. No, you have to. I mean, if you're not serving the scene, you can't. You end up trying to. It's too much performance. It's too much ego, and there's just no depth to it. So you have to be in the scene to be real. That's why I said, it's like, I have no idea what I look like on stage. I have no idea what, people say, how was the audition? I go, I don't know how would I know how the audition was? I'm just inside this scene. It's up to them it's none of my business, what,
Sure.
What I think or what they think. Am I doing my job? In Second City, it was second banana, serve the scene, and that's I think what I'm trying to do with the blues, it's the same exact thing. Serve the song.
Well, definitely, I feel that you are hitting the mark because you're making people. I was bawling right now. You're hitting the mark. You're making people feel things. You are serving genuine, heartfelt.
Well, my genre of blues, for those that don't know, is hokum blues, which is the comedic end of blues. Artists like Tampa Red and Georgia Tom, and they wrote, Play With Your Poodle. They wrote Tight Like That. They wrote those songs, those satirical songs that are little comic sketches. Jerry Seinfeld said a great comedy routine is really a great short song, and that's what I write. I write chansons, if you will, but that's what those guys. But they also wrote, he also wrote "It Hurts Me Too." So that, which is probably the most recorded blues song played on Bluesville or anywhere for that matter.
Sure.
And that's a song of passion about I'm in love with you. You're in love with the wrong guy. Come to me. He's going to hurt you. That's not comedy. That's
reality.
It's honesty. Because even at Second City, they forced you to make your comedy on. Like that song. It was so easy for me to write because my brain is wired for. I'm trained to wear the target on my own back. I don't make fun of you. That's a cheap joke. I make fun of my own foibles, my own desires, my own failures. That's where I write from. So, that's where, so I'm a hokum blues artist, but the hokum blues allows me to show the tragedy side, if you will, or the failure side,
Sure.
So,
the comedy and the tragedy.
Absolutely. Two sides of one coin.
Comedy and the tragedy and the juxtaposition. Oh, is that what you have on your tattoo?
That's where's that? Okay. It's actually skulls of comedy, the comedy and tragedy.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what brought you to the blues?
Well, I was in New York, when I was in Scranton, I started taking drum lessons in second grade. So I was in bands, and I saw Mary Lou Gordon, my grade school friend on the watching here. And we went to a grade school called St. Clair's. And our second grade teacher was a nun named Sister Casimir, who was very strict. But I kept begging her. John Noon had his sister's Spanish 12-string guitar, which was bigger than him. Mark Mulligan had his sister's. John Noon had his sister's ukulele. Mark Mulligan had his sister's Spanish guitar, and I had my trap drum set. And we played 3 songs. We played the theme song from Batman. We played "There's a Kinda Hush" from the Herman Hermits, and we played "Twist and Shout." And I'm in second grade in a Catholic school, and the nun allowed us to do that song at the end of the day at 2:30. Okay, it was her way of making me behave, also.
Surprise!
But cut to sixth grade, and I'm performing at this Hilton Inn bar on St. Patrick's Day with Clarence Spady, a Blues Music Award nominee. He has his album number 17 on the Living Blues for this year.
Oh, cool.
So, I was, introduced, there was in downtown Scranton, there were a couple of music stores, Genetti's music store and Gallucci's music store. And that's where you took your classes. But that's where all the musicians hung out, So we heard everything from Spanish to classical to blues to reggae to pop to country. So you were exposed to it really early. Then when I moved to New York City, Then when I moved to New York City, I started doing stand-up, and I was working at a club called Tramps on 15th Street, and that was the blues club. And the song "When Coco Came to Town" is about that. That was about me being the MC there, and I would introduce Coco Taylor, Hound Dog Taylor, Pine Top Perkins, Big Eyes Willie Smith. But I would end my stand-up with the harmonica, and I would do a make-a song. I'd take a woman's first name and a household object, and it would just do a 12-bar blues. Da 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 da. My name was Lucy. Ba da da. She really goosey. Da da da. And go on and finish the song. But while I was doing that, the band, if it was Coco Taylor's band, they would get up and just get it so there'd be no dead air. And then they'd start playing along to my make-a blues. And then I'd get a big applause, and I'd say, "Ladies and gentlemen," and they'd start, "Please, for the South Side of Chicago, put your hands together for the Queen of the Blues, Coco Taylor." Yeah, man. And then at the break, I'm out in the alley with Bug Eye Willie Smith getting high, and that was my introduction. Then I met there was a blues bars in New York. There was also just the village everywhere. You just got into it. But when I moved to Chicago with the Second City, that's when I learned real blues. And that's where I met Sugar Blue. And that's where, I'm at Kingston Mines every night. I'm at BLUES every night, and I'm running hard with some hard cats, So then it's like, okay, so it was insane. So then I really got to know it. And I wrote a lot of blues songs for Second City in our shows. I did over 5,000 shows. I wrote quite a few songs, but and then I went out to LA. So I was always in bands and stuff like that. And then when then I wanted to just I wanted to do it full time, And this album was the opportunity to do. My first album was a couple of songs I wrote and a lot of covers. Then I did the Hokum album, and that was produced by Tony. That was produced by Will Lee, bass player from the Letterman Band, and that had Jimmy Vivino on guitar playing, Sean Pelton on drums, and that's a cover of all those 1930s Hokum blues songs, which Bill Wax and Bob Porter really led me down the road with that, and it was a brilliant album and a brilliant time. That album did so well that I got the phone call for the Legendary Rhythm and Blues Cruise, and Tony Bronico was on the cruise. I said, "Why don't we record this?" And that was my live album, which was a mixture of those two albums.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Okay, time for a new album. No more covers. It's time." Then the pandemic hit. Then it's time to write, and now I have a full album of originals, all written by me and lyrically, and the music by Tom. So that's the journey. And now that's what I do. Now I'm gonna write that hit Hokum song. Trust me on that.
I do. I can feel it. I can feel it. Yeah. This is your timing. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's what's so cool about the blues is, it's never too late. It's never too late.
No, it's very, very age appropriate, Brigitte. Very age appropriate. I'm not some kid with my jeans hanging down around my butt, and I'm not. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. A balding, overweight white man fits right into the blues category.
Stop it. Stop it.
I remember one night we were at the BMAs, and there was the tram wasn't working, and it was Charlie Musselwhite and Otis Clay, and they're looking for a cab, and because they were going into the Blues Hall of Fame that night, and there were no cabs and no trolley. The trolley wasn't working on Main Street in Memphis. And I saw a horse-drawn carriage with like the white pumpkin. Yeah. And I whistled. I said, "Get over here." I whistled it over. They go, what? I go, get in the carriage. They
Get
go, what?
in the carriage.
Get in the carriage. I'm taking you down by horse-drawn carriage. And, I'm sitting there with Charlie Musselwhite and Otis Clay going, I'm younger than them. I have a future in this business.
Otis Clay. Oh my gosh. I just love him. I work with
Of course
his
you
son.
loved him. All women loved him. I said to Otis, I said, dude, what is it? I said, I could set my hair on fire and women would say, would you get out of the way? I'm looking at Otis.
It's, oh my gosh, that voice, that soul, that his cover of Led Zeppelin, is it A Whole Lot of Love? His cover, I can't remember right now, but his cover is just bad to the bone.
He's the real, God rest his soul, he's the real deal. He was the real deal.
I'm good friends with his son. His son plays drums for me, Mark Clay.
Get out. Never met him. I'd love to meet him.
Yeah, I played in Chicago area, and he took me down to Coco's Club.
Really?
And yeah, took me down to the Odyssey, which used to be the Coco's Club on the south side.
Wow.
And he said, "Are you coming?" I said, "Yeah, I'm coming." So when I get there, everybody was dressed to the nines. It's like you're going to church, and with the buffalo check and the shoes and the hats and all. And they had a little table waiting for me up in the front, and they had my name on it, Miss Purdy, and poured me some champagne and called me up to sit in. Sir Walter Scott from the Shy Lights was playing that night, and finished my song, raised my arms in the air, and looked up. I didn't even know where I was. Looked up at the ceiling, and above my head was K-O-K-O, Coco.
Wow.
It was just, yeah.
Well, I just finished the video for when Coco came to town. I have all this great footage, and Joe Rosen, the photographer, sent me all these great stills from tramps in New York at that time. Wow. So I put that in the video. It's just about finished. But yeah, well, that's great, man. That's the real deal. That's it. You're in heaven.
We are in heaven. I wake up every day, even though it's been funky. I wake up every day feeling blessed that out of all, I'm very spiritual. Out of all the gifts God could have given me, that he took that one off the shelf and he said, you know what, Brigitte, this one's for you. This is for you, and go share it. And so anytime that I have the opportunity to share that, I feel like we're the luckiest, blessed people on the planet, you know?
Yes. Well, it's, I'm grateful that there's because, I've gone back to the comedy clubs and stuff, and it's just a whole nother ball game. And there's just no sophistication. It's very, everybody's a kid, and everything's this joke and that joke, and it's all filth. It's just not, it's just not it for me. And the blues has created, has provided me with a genre from the 30s. W.C. Handy was quoted often for saying we used to hook 'em with the hokum, and that's, and you would, the hokum act is what was the comedic musical act that kept the audience for the blues act. And Rick Booth, who's helping me, book stuff now. He said, Chris, where do you see yourself? I said, Rick, I just want to be the greatest opening act. That's what I do. I set the tone and make it easier for everybody else. That's my gig, and that's what I love doing. And and now I'm telling my own story, so I'm not just doing a 1930s song and how that song was written. I'm telling about how I met Joni Mitchell. I'm talking about when I used to open for and take Coco Taylor up on stage. So yes, it's so great to find your place, especially at this age, and especially at a time where you really do have to you really have to create your own stage. You have to create your own broadband, and and what's really powerful is that the Blues Foundation in Memphis has created a community for us, and that community has accepted me and embraced me, and I'm grateful for that. But it's so vibrant, and that we have blues societies I'm doing a show next week in Providence in Westerly, Rhode Island, and I just posted on the Providence, Rhode Island Blues Society, and we know these people. Like, we'll see them in Memphis. We know the Blues Society in France. We know the Blues Society in Ukraine. Those are
our people.
Those are people we've eaten Gus's chicken with.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, and when I often post about the Blues family, and anybody who's been down to Memphis or Florida or any of the places with these Blues Society, we keep running into the same beautiful faces, the same beautiful spirits, and we're kinship. We have kinship. Is that a word? You know what I'm saying? We because we're lovers of the same music, and we have a certain connection with one another. Speaking of Gus's,
I
don't know if you remember, and it's okay because you're a man. You don't have to admit you don't remember. But the first time I met you, I was downstairs at the Sheraton. I had been running all day from interviews and and rehearsals and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there at the Sheraton downstairs, and you walked by me, and you had a bag of chicken from Gus's.
Yeah.
I'd never met you before. You're like, hey, you want some chicken?
Yep.
And you know what? No shame in the game. I said, yeah, I'll have a leg.
Well, you know what? It's so funny because for everybody, the Sheraton is where we all stay during the Blues Music Awards. And it connects to the theater right across the street. So this hotel is insane. It's like you're sitting at the bar, and John Mayall is on one side. You turn, there's Charlie Musselwhite, there's Elvin Bishop, and it's like it's so crazy. There's Beth Hart. And everybody's like, hey, do you know? Like, there's it's a certain vibe. It's a certain vibe. So I was having my meeting. It was I was having my interview with VizTone Records.
Oh, okay, cool.
On the whatever, like the 18th floor, where the breakfast nook is, kind of a thing. But
you mean the one that you have to have the special card to get in?
Of course, you have to have a special card to get in. Otherwise, it wouldn't be special. To keep the riffraff out. So I was meeting Rosie and Amy Bratt up there, so I went up with chicken. I knew I'd get the best deal if I bought some chicken from Gus's. They opened the Gus's in LA.
I know.
Up at Crenshaw.
Yes, I know. Do they have that checkerboard pie? Because I really love that checkerboard pie.
I don't know. But I would open a Gus's tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you, I've actually gone online to buy the franchise. They're like, no more franchises for a while. But I would do a Bad News Gus's Chicken and Blues bar. Absolutely.
I think you should. I think LA is definitely needs some of that down home. There's places to play, and we have Cadillac Zach, who brings a lot of artists out to LA. But it'd be really nice to have a true you know what I'm talking about, a true greasy club.
Yes. Harvell's is a good club too out there.
It is a good club. It is a great club.
I used to go there a lot in Santa Monica. I haven't been to the one in Long Beach, but the Santa Monica one I spent a lot of time in. Did you go on
that night where they have all them burlesque dancers?
No, but I've seen it on the Facebook, some pictures of it or something. But
okay,
no, I didn't do the burlesque. Not that I wouldn't, I just never did.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of hot bands have come out of there. I love Vintage Trouble. They're a really hip band that started in Harvell's. A friend of mine. He is the MD for Diana Ross, I believe. He does a jam on pro jam on Monday nights at Harvell's, and they have a lot of A-list musicians that come through there. So it's a great little spot. It's itty bitty, but it's nice and it's quaint. Yeah, I saw Guitar Short. Saw Guitar Shorty there. I
Really?
love Guitar Shorty.
Yeah, we had my friend was the bartender there. We used to all the Shay J guys. We used to hang out there. That's where that was our early part of the evening. But I saw some great bands there. Great bands. You know who plays there? Billy Jones. Is it Billy? Jones. He plays there a lot, actually. Now that I think about it, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. I blew a lot of harp in that club.
Yeah,
Not well, but I did.
Well, I have loved having you on. You've
My
been
pleasure.
amazing. I love your energy, and we are gonna play your song, Your Poodle.
Play with your poodle. There's it. That's a Georgia Thompson. That was from my Hokum Blues album, and that has Will Lee, Jimmy Vivino, Sean Pelton from Saturday Night Live Band, Beth Sussman, who played with Whitney Houston for years on piano, and Steve Geiger on harmonica.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Andy, can you hit it?
Hit it, Andy. Oh, we got the video. Oh my God. There's my poodles.
Look here, baby, listen to my song. Don't get mad because it ain't no harm. I wanna play with your poodle. Play with your poodle. Can I play with your poodle? Play with your poodle. Let me play with your poodle. I mean your little poodle dog. She's the best poodle that I've ever seen. What I like about her, you keep her clean. Let me play with your poodle. Play with your poodle. Let me play with your poodle. Play with your poodle. Let me play with your poodle. I mean your little poodle dog.
That's
Your
my
little
poodle right
poodle
there.
got long black shaggy hair. Look like a face like a teddy bear. Can I play with your poodle? Play with your poodle. Let me play with your poodle. Play with your poodle. Let me play with your poodle. I mean your little poodle dog.
Will Lee on field bass.
Come on, Beth.
Yeah.
Those are our bartenders from New York.
I thought they were the Rockettes. Isn't that my kid?
Jackie choreographed that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I like the way she twists her tail. I would buy her, but she ain't for sale. Can I play with your poodle? Play with your poodle. Let me play with your poodle. Play with your poodle. Let me play with your poodle. I mean your little poodle.
Dennis Collins singing back up.
Woo!
Sean Pelton on drums.
Nice.
Jimmy Vivino on guitar.
Woo!
I play so soft, so gentle and sweet. I'd like to play with her at least one day a week. Can I play with your poodle? Play with your poodle. Please let me play with your poodle. Play with your poodle. Let me play with your poodle. I mean your little poodle dog.
Dominus.
Let me play with your poodle. Play with your poodle. Let me play with your poodle. Play with your poodle. Let me play with your poodle. I mean your little poodle dog.
Yeah.
I love it.
Just close it up just a little bit. Here we go. Here we go.
Ow! That's Mr. Bad News Bar coming at you.
Oh my God, girls. Okay. Step together. Crank. Kickball chain. Kickball chain.
Kickball chain.
That's my gal.
Yeah. I love it.